Coming up on Vegas Nation Blitz, the Raiders finally get to celebrate a victory.
Man, the wins, man. You cherish these moments, especially coming off of 3 losses,
Finally, getting over the hump is special, especially against the Broncos.
We'll break down how the Raiders managed to get their first win of the season right now on Vegas Nation Blitz.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Blitz. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
Welcome in, football fans, to another episode of Vegas Nation Blitz. I'm your host, Cassie Soto, here with you after a Raiders win. The Silver and Black finally able to get their first win of the season over the Broncos, 32-23, extending their win streak over Denver to 5 games in a row. The Raiders also had multiple players set career highs on Sunday, so let's go ahead and dive right in with our top stories, brought to you by Capriotti's. Make your game day extraordinary with Capriotti's. Order now. Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignore joining me now. Vinny, this game was won on the ground. The Raiders put up 212 rushing yards as opposed to Denver's 85, and 144 of those Raiders yards came from running back Josh Jacobs, a new career high for him. How crucial was Jacobs in getting this win for the Raiders?
Yeah, he was running like a man possessed, determined, angry, whatever adjective you want to put on that. But at the same time, the offensive line was also doing its job. And that's kind of what the Raiders had been missing, both the running backs, and the offensive line kind of working in unison and everybody doing their job. And I think you saw what's capable with this running game, especially when you parlay it and play it off what they have in the passing game with a good productive offensive line as well. When all of that is clicking, that's possible. What we saw on Sunday, it's possible moving forward.
You mentioned the offensive line. So after 4 weeks and a whole lot of different combinations there on the field for the Raiders, do you think this team has found their starting 5 guys?
Yeah, I do. The only question is, are they comfortable with Thayer Munford, a rookie, playing alongside a rookie in Dylan Parham over on that right side? They weren't quite ready to go there yet to start the game on Sunday, but that's how they finished the game on Sunday with the 2 rookies over on the right side, and it worked well. And Thayer ended up getting the majority of snaps at right tackle over Jermaine Illuminor, including finishing that game and being on the field when the Raiders, put the game away with that game clinching touchdown. So if that lasting image or that last image means anything, then I think that's the line that you're going to see along with Thayer Munford at right tackle.
Well, Raiders quarterback Derek Carr also had a career-high day, rushing for 5 first downs. Vinny, he had the wheels spinning on Sunday.
Yeah, he did, and it was funny because I asked him afterward if he remembered what his 40 time was, at the scouting combine. And he had that thing like he had it in his wallet, like he was saving it, that information. So he remembered, he's a pretty good athlete, obviously, running a 4.7. That's not bad, for anybody. And he claims that it was a 4.56, I think it was. So he's proud of his athletic ability. It's not something that he shows a lot of people a lot of time, but he certainly did when it counted on Sunday. And I think that's something that you can keep an eye on moving forward, because he's never going to be, a running type quarterback. That's just not what he does. But if he can do it selectively when there's room, when literally the defense is giving it to him, by accounting for so many of the other Raiders' weapons, if you can go get 6, 7, 11, 15 yards just by taking off and running and beating players to a point after they have to break off their coverage, then do it. And I think it'll really help the Raiders offense if he continues to do that. Not all the time, but some of the time.
Well, it came out last week, Vinny, following the Titans' loss, that the captains held a player-led meeting. How much of that do you think helped encourage this team to get together, to work together, more importantly, for a full 60 minutes on Sunday and get this win over the Broncos?
Yeah, I think it was important because, first of all, there wasn't any finger pointing. Yeah, it was honest and it was frank, but it wasn't where guys were clobbering each other over the head. That sometimes happens in those team meetings. I think this was more of a it became sort of a question that players were asking each other and of themselves. Are you doing everything that you need to be doing at the highest level? I talked to Darren Waller about it. It's like, hey, can you rehab a little bit, more seriously? Can you do things at a little bit of a higher level? And I think became part of the dialogue, each guy being honest with themselves about, are they really taking that thing to the highest level? And I think you saw that some guys probably understood, you know what, no, there's still room for me to go. And I think that that was reflected in their practice habits, their study habits, and the attention to detail that they took to the game, and just being efficient when they needed to be efficient, especially on that fourth quarter drive to put the game away. That was a pretty flawless drive that they had. And that kind of embodies, I think, what they were talking about in that team meeting, and kind of what they want to be about, what they want to hang their hat on.
Around the League, sponsored by South Point Sportsbook. Download the app at southpointsports.com. Hey everyone, it's Heidi Fang here, and I'm joined with Adam Hill, and now we're going to take a look around the league, particularly at the Thursday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. Adam, not only did the Raiders hand the Broncos a loss this past weekend, but the team also now is down their star running back, Javonte Williams. How do you figure that this might affect this team?
Yeah, the Broncos backfield situation just got a lot more complex. Obviously, Javonte Williams had taken over that. He had split carries with Melvin Gordon the last 2 years. He had taken over his full share of the backfield duties, and then Melvin Gordon fumbles once again. That's the fifth time he's fumbled in the last 6 games that he's played. And Javonte Williams even further takes a grip on that backfield situation, and then he goes down for the season. So will the Broncos trust Melvin Gordon to get the bulk of the carries? We shall see. But if he continues to fumble, obviously Mike Boone is there. They bring in Latavius Murray. They've got some options, but Javonte Williams was the most talented player in that backfield. So it is a massive loss, not only in the run game, but also in the pass game, where he's very effective catching the ball and getting downfield.
It's also going to be a tough one for the Colts offense, Adam, because not only is their star running back injured, but they're also not really getting it going in rhythm with this offense. What do you think they need to do to get over this hump?
Yeah, Matt Ryan has looked every bit his age. I think the Colts thought they'd bring him in to stabilize some things after Carson Wentz was a roller coaster last year. Instead, they've really found the difficulty getting the ball downfield. Obviously, the receiving core isn't what it used to be. They've got some talent there, but they've got to find a way to make plays in the passing game. And if Matt Ryan can't make plays downfield, and now Jonathan Taylor's hurt, there was rumors he might be out for the full season. He's probably going to miss a little bit of time, but no matter what happens with him, he's got to find a way to have his team make plays around him so that he can find some running lanes, because they just haven't been there yet this year.
Sam Gordon here on behalf of Vegas Nation, checking in with another weekly injury brief. Out at practice today, Hunter Renfrow did return, although he wore a red non-contact jersey as he works his way back from a concussion. No exact word on his availability yet for Monday night's game against Kansas City, but a positive sign for the fourth-year wide receiver nonetheless as he makes his way back from another concussion. As far as Denzel Perryman's concerned, he also is dealing with a concussion. No update on him yet per coach Josh McDaniels. As far as other injuries, no official injury report out yet because of the Monday Night Football game, but Pro Bowl tight end Darren Waller was also wearing a red no-contact jersey at practice on Wednesday. Be sure to check back in on VegasNation.com for injury updates throughout the course of the week as the Raiders prepare for another trip to Arrowhead Stadium.
DNR House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler, the perfect bridge between internet pricing and a traditional brick-and-mortar jewelry store. We specialize in loose diamonds, natural and lab-grown, engagement rings, fashion jewelry, custom design, and jewelry repairs. We operate by appointment in our beautiful offices in the One Summerlin building, downtown Summerlin. Our great relationships with the world's largest diamond wholesalers and our low overhead saves you hundreds, if not thousands, on your purchase.
With Capriotti's, game day is always extraordinary. Fuel your passion with our award-winning cheesesteaks, in-house oven-roasted turkey, and classic subs. Or create a fan frenzy with our catering trays that are perfect for any crew. At Capriotti's, we deliver extraordinary to you.
Now it's time for our weekly look at Raiders social media. Sweet, sweet victory for the Silver and Black. First win of the season, first win under head coach Josh McDaniels. The Las Vegas Raiders have still never lost to the Broncos, and Raider Nation took to the timeline to share their excitement with a win over a rival. High praise going to Josh Jacobs, who has that dog in him. And let Carr cook. After the game, we got a jersey swap between Russell Wilson and Derek Carr, both signing their jerseys with encouraging messages, showing good sportsmanship after their first game against each other as rivals. Now, not only did the Raiders win, but they did it in front of some champions. The Las Vegas Aces lighting the Al Davis Memorial Torch pregame just a few weeks after the Aces championship celebration in Las Vegas, and days after Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and Chelsea Gray won the FIBA Women's World Cup as a part of Team USA.
This is Denzel Perryman, and you're watching the Raiders.
And finally, some fun after a big win. The Raiders social team had a few players try to draw the shield. Just like how Disney Channel actors would draw the Mickey Mouse ears with a magical, colorful wand. I'm not sure many of the players got the reference, but there are a few secret artists on the squad. And of course, QB1 looks to be the closest to perfect.
Cassie Soto back with you, and I am joined by Las Vegas Review-Journal sports columnist Ed Graney. Ed, the Raiders broke their streak of 43 consecutive games without a defensive touchdown on Sunday when Amik Robertson was in the right place at the right time and returned a fumble for a touchdown versus the Broncos. What have you made of the young cornerback's performances over these last few weeks?
You know what? He's getting better and better. We have to remember when camp started, it wasn't a guarantee. I didn't think that he was going to make the team, that he was even going to be on the roster. So it's a credit to Amik for how well he's progressed and how well he's improved. We can't give him total credit for that play. The tackle was being made, but he, like you said, he was in the right place, right time. And once he got the ball, he knew what to do with it and did it very well, scattering those 68 yards for that touchdown. Like you said, I think 2019, week 10 against the Chargers, the last time they had a defensive touchdown. And here's the thing, when you have a defensive touchdown in a game, you usually win the game, which is what happened. So Amik's playing really well. He's been given an opportunity now because of some of the injuries in the secondary. And that's how you make the most of opportunities. And that's how you stay in the lineup, by making plays like that.
Yeah, well, somebody that has been consistent for this Raiders defense is, of course, defensive end Max Crosby. He currently leads the league with 8 tackles for loss and I believe is tied for 5th with 4 sacks, and 2 of those came on Sunday versus the Broncos. Are you surprised by his production thus far, and is it something that you think he can keep up, especially if he's not getting a whole lot of help around him?
No, I mean, I'm not surprised at all given how hard he works. I mean, the whole cliche about first one in, last one out is kind of what he does. So I'm not surprised at all. I was surprised the Broncos tried to block him with a tight end the other day, which was kind of a nonsense on their part. And then obviously he had the free run at Russell Wilson. So yes, of course he can keep this up. Look, Chandler Jones had his best game as a Raider the other day. Didn't get it in the sacks. Had a couple pressures, drew a few holding penalties, at least one. If he continues to progress and maybe can start to get to the quarterback for what he's paid for and start pressuring, it'll open up things even more for Max Crosby. But given what Chandler Jones has not done yet, the year that Max Crosby's had has been absolutely amazing so far to me as he continues to pressure the quarterback and get these sacks. Like you said, he's got 4 of their 5 sacks. Nate Hobbs got the other one. But you're right, Cassie. He's playing an amazing defensive end, and I think he can keep it going just because of how hard he works and how much he wants to be great.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he can keep it up come this Monday night when the Raiders face another AFC West rival. Of course, on Monday Night Football, a Week 5 matchup. Kansas City has been able to pull away in the last 3 meetings, getting the dub. How do you think the Raiders will fare in this matchup? Again, in Kansas City, it's always a tough place to win there.
It's also tough to go against Patrick Mahomes, right? I mean, here's the thing. The problem with defending Patrick Mahomes is you can watch 100 hours of film on the guy, and there are going to be 3 or 4 plays that you can't prepare for. And that's what really makes it difficult. The one he had the other night against the Buccaneers, spins the 360, tosses to Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the touchdown. You can't prepare for those kind of things. You can't prepare for what Patrick Mahomes does. So they're going to have to really zone in on him and try their best to avoid those kinds of plays. And then on offense, Chiefs are very good against the run. We know what Josh Jacobs did last week, going 144 yards, career high. I don't know if the Raiders can do that on the run and the ground game against the Chiefs. So it's going to be up to Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and all those who are eligible and healthy. We're not sure yet about Hunter Renfrow. Matt Collins is in there. They're going to have to make plays through the air because the Chiefs are pretty darn good against the run. And I don't think they can count on Josh Jacobs going for another 144.
Thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode of Vegas Nation Blitz. For all of your Raiders news throughout the week, you can head on over to vegasnation.com. And please be sure to join us on Saturday for Vegas Nation Game Day, bright and early at 7 a.m. as we bring you a preview of the Raiders' Monday Night Football showdown versus the Kansas City Chiefs. For our entire Vegas Nation crew, I'm Cassie Soto. We'll see you then.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Blitz. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.